mother, what you cooking, man?
What is going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to another weekly edition of the Iron Minds podcast. My name is Michael Lombard, and I'm joined with the Pedro himself, Nick Klingensmith, and Trey Griggs, who's at the airport getting in some flying in. How's everybody doing this morning? What is the good word? Let's go. We're ready on full steam ahead into this week. What's happening?
I'm just happy to be here.
Nick, happy to be here. Nick's lying flat down.
He's probably going to need to be lying down for a while after all that stuff he did with his old man this past weekend. Boy, Nick was on the move this weekend with his dad.
Dude, my dad's got a few days of recovery ahead of him from all that walking around.
I'll tell you, your dad said, I didn't know we were inadvertently training me for a marathon, son.
Dude, he was actually showing me his daily step count, how it like doubled while I was there. I was like, hell yeah.
That's awesome, man. Did you have a good time with your dad, Nick?
Dude, it was way too quick, but it was, it was so good. It was good to get home. It was good to see a couple friends, do some old things that we would do together, but some quality time with my pops, got to play some chess, drink a bunch of coffee, walk around, have ice cream, good times.
Pedro, what's been happening with you? So let's check in. How's the weekend? How we rolling?
Dude, weekend was good, man. It was busy. I mean, started out kind of bad because our washer kind of like half crapped out on us. So, I ended up spending Saturday appliance shopping, but it was good. They say a way to a man's heart is through his stomach, and I feel the way to a married woman's heart is through appliances. Because my wife was as giddy as a schoolgirl, boy, when she got through appliances. So, it was good, man. Sunday just hung out, and she actually went to my son just moved into a new apartment, really nice one, and so he invited us over for dinner and made us some huge porterhouse steaks and homemade rolls and all kinds of really fattening things that I shouldn't have been eating, and I felt guilty with every single bite, but I was like, man, this is way too good, and I just have to ask Lombard for forgiveness later.
And I'll always grant forgiveness, because all you need to do for that forgiveness, which is what I tell anybody, that's the thing. When people, like I said, you feel guilty. I'm glad you brought this up. People are like, oh, I did this, I did that. They have a weekend, whatever. They go out, they didn't eat right. They didn't kind of do what they were supposed to do. Great. It's Tuesday. Get up, get active. You just roll back into it. That's the forgiveness right there. It's just not giving up. It's just realizing, okay, I enjoyed life. All right, maybe I shouldn't have done it as much. How about I just get back to work? But a lot of people will just not get back to work, and they'll be like, I guess it's just not for me. It's not cut out. I guess I suck. But it ain't the truth.
I'm not complaining or feeling guilty at all about the pizza, the fried dough, or the ice cream that I had. And I can tell you that you can't outwork a bad diet, but you can keep up with a few bad meals.
Exactly.
Like
The body.
Today, and I do try to avoid the sugar, not because it's like someone else says it's bad for me, just because it doesn't help support my goals. But I mean, every once in a while, but it is what it is. Enjoy it if you're going to do it. Don't feel guilty about it.
Yeah, the body responds to consistency. So it's like 1 or 2 days, you have fun, then you go right back at it for or 10 days, and you have a little bit of fun. Again, it's about winning. It's about winning the days, winning the weeks, winning the months. So all of a sudden, 2-3 days out of the entire month wasn't where you wanted to be, but you won the month. You got a 90-something% on the test. Still an A+ month.
Yeah, man, that's what we're doing. Killing it, dude. You know, and I'm enjoying this time of year. I mean, Lombard, you're not too far from me, so I know you feel the shift in the weather. You know, I don't know about you, but I don't like working when it's freezing, working out when it's freezing. But man, there's something about a nice, crisp morning. Not that that's this morning, but you know, like it's nice to work out, man, when it's like 50 degrees outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's still warm. The humidity's dialed back in the morning. What was really interesting to see was I was at a wedding this weekend, and on Friday morning, you know, did a nice light 14-mile run. And what's crazy is to see how much weather actually affects things. Whereas, like, if I was to go for that run here in Central Texas, I did it at the same speed that I would do a run at home. Like, I wasn't moving faster or slower. But it's crazy to see how there's much less effort that went into it because I was up in Bar Harbor, Maine. And so I was like, you know, I was running the same speed in Bar Harbor as I would here, but the effort in Bar Harbor was much less, as in like where my heart rate was. And it's crazy to think how much weather actually has an effect on your body's output.
Dude, it was 30 degrees colder in Massachusetts when I ran on Thursday of last week, and you know, like 70% less humidity. And because I ran at the exact same effort, I got to see the difference there. And I ran 2.25 more miles on Thursday than I did yesterday at the same running the same amount of time. Same effort.
Weather's a factor.
Yeah, 30 degrees. 30 degrees is, oh my God, Benny, 30 degrees is no joke. And that heat, that humidity, that weighs down on you a lot. Just the way everything works, like your breathing, your blood flow, the energy it takes. But how was that weather was so nice to be up in New England for a few days, though, wasn't it?
Well, I definitely wanted to come on here for Iron Minds today because I had an incredibly hot take the other day that I put on Instagram.
Oh, let's hear it.
That I got some responses to, and it has to do with like the certain time of the year and kind of the topic of the show, which is going into, you know, we've got a holiday weekend coming up. You said we've got some shows coming up, but also like there's a lot of sports that are, you know, the football season about to start, college and NFL season is really about to ramp up, and I think, you know, there's nothing wrong. Like I like to let people enjoy things. Like that's how I am, you know. Like whenever something becomes really popular, people are like, oh, it's you know, it's cringe, it's that. Like if people enjoy something, I like to let them enjoy it. But what's happened to me over the past few years is, like, you know, I've kind of detached from like being very invested into pro sports. It's not that I don't like them anymore. I still think the NFL is a good product. I think college is a little bit better, but like I don't have the mental bandwidth to like really like to care, you know, and you know, and it's met with resistance. Like people will criticize you for it, like, oh, you're just faking it. I know you're really butthurt that the Steelers lost, or you're a fake fan or something like that. You don't really care, and it's like I just don't have the mental bandwidth to care anymore because I'm so invested in what I'm trying to do, and I'm invested in what friends of mine are doing. You know, with the network I'm in, I have friends who are going to these incredible races. They're training. We're in the Slack group where I'm cheering for guys who are, you know, getting in their steps in, going for walks. And it's like, I get criticized because I'm not participating in the sorrow or joy of pro sports. And it's like, hey, what is it? What is the big deal? And when it comes to pro sports, it's like, I don't really, you know, the people who are on that TV screen, they don't give a crap about me. Like, there are a bunch of people running around for a very big paycheck. They don't care about what I do or what I'm doing, but I've got a lot of friends who I care about, and I care about what they're doing, and I'd rather root for them. And it's like, if people took the same energy they invested into their, some sort of team they liked, and they supported their current friends, because again, this is the time of the year where people are deviating from their goals. Maybe they started a business this year, maybe they started something, and then we're going to try to sidestep them off by paying attention to these sports. Like, how about you take that same energy rooting for these teams? I'm not saying don't enjoy things, but like, you root for your friends and support them in what they're doing. And it's like, and some people are like, oh, you can do both. And it's like, great. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people who are like calling me some sort of fake fan or something like that, because I just like, I don't let the sports dictate my, if the Steelers lose on Sunday, it doesn't butcher my week and change my whole mindset and derail me from all the other stuff I'm doing. And also, I'm incredibly busy on those Sundays doing stuff. Like, I don't have time to watch this stuff and butcher 4 to 6 hours on a Sunday doing it. But yeah, I've been like ridiculed for it for years, just because I'm not as invested. I think people should have just invested. Like, who cares if a team wins or loses? Like, you've got friends in a community that need your support more than just some guys who probably won't even be on that same team next year.
I love that take, dude.
I do too, man. And I so feel that. My son's, especially my youngest, huge sports fanatic. And I used to be a big football guy, man. All day Saturday, college ball, baby. From around 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. Sunday, NFL all day. We're drinking, we're eating fatty foods, we're doing that. And man, over the last 5 years or so, I've transitioned away from it. Like, I keep up with my teams and stuff, but it's like I had other things that I need to do during that time, and I had to decide, what's more beneficial for me, what gives back more to me, my life, my family's life. Is it sitting and watching football? And again, not saying anything about people who do. If you got the time, hey, I'm glad, awesome. But I have other things that I could do, and I have to leverage my time properly. Weigh the pros and the cons of what I'm going to get the most out of, and it just hasn't been being a sports guy. So and I get the same thing. My youngest son, he's like, "Come on, Dad, let's watch football all day." I'm like, "Dude, I got yards to mow. I got this to do." I was like, "We can watch one game together, but I got these other stuff." And so I get the same thing, man. All my friends, sports fans, and man, you want to come watch the game? No, man, I got XYZ I need to do, brother. It's got to be done by today. So I'm glad someone else feels the way I feel. Hey, enjoy it by all means. If that's what brings you joy, do not let me or anyone else stand in the way with my opinion. But yeah, I kind of had to move away from it too, and said it was just I had to figure out where my time was better spent. Was it watching sports, or was it doing something else?
Yeah, I got a slightly different take, and that is, turns out my daughters love NFL football. Like, they love it. And so I actually turn the games on in hopes that they'll sit with me and spend time together. That's been a lot of fun. So I never really watched a lot of football until maybe 3 or 4 years ago when the Chiefs started getting good, because that's my team. And but now, like, we'll watch at least one game a week. But I want them to sit with me. Like, otherwise it's not nearly as much fun. So it's the company, the camaraderie, and it's been fun to see my girls become pretty knowledgeable about the game. But for us to spend time together, talk about the players, talk about Taylor Swift, all those kind of things. But that's been actually something really, really enjoyable. But you're absolutely right, Pedro. And Michael, I love that point, Michael, about who we're rooting for. We're rooting for these guys that we'll never meet. We don't know. They don't know us. They don't care about us. Or are we putting our energy towards rooting for our friends who are out there trying to do some pretty cool stuff, Great point. Love that. Love that.
Yeah, just the thought process that I had, as we get into it. I mean, it is going to be a busy time. It's something, because that's the thing, is the NFL season kind of moves very quickly, and it's multiple days a week. It's Sunday, it's Monday night, it's Thursday night. They try to keep it. There's 24-hour news cycles about the drama and stuff, and it can vary. And again, it is, it's straight marketing, but it can become, quite addicting to get kind of bought into what's going on, who's performing, who's doing this. And it's like, hold on, wait a minute. It's like, there's a lot of energy there. And it's like, man, and that's great if you enjoy it. That's awesome. But I enjoy, the same way we enjoy other things. Like we were just talking about food. It's like if you just dial back on it again, it's one of those things. It's like take it a little bit in moderation. It's you get what you give, and if you're giving a lot into kind of like insane fandom, what you're going to get in return is just like gambling. Sometimes you're going to feel really good. Sometimes you're going to feel like crap. So if you're giving so much into that, it's like you might be getting the same mental anguish, and it takes your energy that you get in return. But neither here nor there.
Or you can make a deal with yourself, Michael Lombard. You can make a deal with yourself. You can say, you know what? I'm going to watch that football game after I get in a workout, or after I go for a walk, or after I do something to balance things out. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna use that time to encourage people on text messaging or in Slack or whatever. So you can make some deals with yourself in that. Yeah, Nick?
Yeah.
Sorry, Michael.
No, I'm saying you could watch an NFL game and be in zone 2 the whole time. You get a hop on the Peloton, or you get on a bike trainer.
That's
be
right.
Like, well, if they're working 60-minute game, even though it's longer, oh man, how about I just lock myself in zone 2 for 2 hours?
Right. Every commercial break, do 15 push-ups, and 30 sit-ups or something like that. Like just have these little deals with yourself.
One of the reasons I like getting up early and doing it is because then you're done. I mean, yeah, coverage might start at 9 a.m., but the games don't start till 1, and you can start working out at 6. So there's zero reason. It's an interference. It's just an excuse. It's a decision to not do something. When I was a big Pats fan, and when I was in college, it was, we gamble the whole time, and even working in a big office. To Lombard's point, it's not just one game one day. I mean, there's game Sunday, Monday, sometimes Thursday, sometimes Friday, sometimes Saturday, and you talk about it all week long. It becomes a major distraction. When I first moved to Florida, though, I had to make a choice. I either wanted to watch a couple of Pats games that were going to be televised, or I wanted to play beach volleyball, and that's what I moved here for. So it just became different priorities and decisions for me. And really, because my team wasn't on TV all that much, it was kind of easier for me to get disconnected. And I do like the camaraderie of cheering for somebody and kind of being around with a group and all, but I didn't care that much because they weren't my team. And I don't know, I just wasn't as into it. Like, I enjoy watching the games. I definitely enjoy supporting my team, but if I'm not following them enough, there's so much more I would just rather do. My life is about other things now. I even say that I'm a terrible baseball fan because the pandemic actually it ruined me a little bit because I'm a purist. And when they changed the season that year, and then, the Red Sox haven't been very good in the last few years. I just haven't paid as much attention to sports, I would say, in the last 5 years as I did the years before either.
I feel that. Chiefs are back now, baby.
What's that?
My Chiefs are back now, baby. So I'm going to be watching a little more football.
Chiefs are like the new Patriots fan. Can we just all say it?
They are, dude. We are. We totally are. Proudly. I mean, when you compare what we did the last 20 years to the recent 5, proudly we'll carry that label.
I mean, it's pro sports. What's also really funny is the people who are the most invested, because you go on Twitter on any NFL Sunday, and I mean the level of, because this is the other side of that coin, is the people who are like that invested and they let it kind of run their lives. We just talked about the Chiefs being the new Patriots type of stuff. You go on Twitter on any given Sunday, and it is full of people who will rip to shreds players who, anybody, like when a mistake is made, or if a team loses, or if they lose in like the last seconds, they're like, they're a choke artist. They're that. And it's like that. It goes right back to that man in the arena speech. Like,
yep, that's right.
In what world, like who does anybody think they are by going on and being like, this person sucks, when if anybody who criticizes performance in the NFL played one down in the NFL, they'd be knocked out. It would happen so quick, and they'd be knocked down. They'd be knocked unconscious so fast from playing one down around those people, they wouldn't know what hit them. But yet they're the first ones to go on there and be like, oh, Patrick Mahomes is this, or this guy's this guy's that. Like, they don't show up, and it's like, you can't even keep up with them for 10 minutes in their practices, let alone play a game. And it's like you'll be the heaviest critics of a coach, of a player, and it's like, who do you think you are? Like, who do you think you are criticizing how they play or how they coach? It's like, I get it, you want your team to win, but it's like, dude, you're in the bleachers. You're out. You're watching. You're not the man in the arena. You can't do that job. You'll never be able to do it. And you're gonna just like launch and rip dudes to shreds. Like, do everything you can to get clout off of your opinions on them. It's like, take a look in the mirror before you start just tossing shade because some guy dropped the ball.
Yeah, dude, that's so true, man. Like, you're not going to find critics from guys who played professional or college level football, but you find the critics from the people who've never been in the arena. They've never, they don't know what it's like. You know?
Yeah, like it's a freaking, it's a weird thing to have, a weird thing to do. I think it's to just like rip those guys to shreds because they're not playing to your standard, and it's like, what's your standard?
Right. So true. Well, I'm here at the airport, everybody. Lambert International Airport, about to catch a flight to Baltimore. And I got to tell you, I'm pretty excited about this flight because I'm stretching ahead of time. And I'll tell you, like, I'm getting a lot of looks. A lot of people looking at me like, who is this guy? What is he doing? And that's all right. That's all right. So I'm not going to see these people ever again, probably in my life. But I'm going to feel good on this flight because I'm
Dude, are you
stretching.
kidding me? They're tuning in right now. They're like, dude, that guy's on something.
Yeah, that's right. They're all like, where can I find this podcast? Where is it? Hey, we got some people in the comments. I love it. Natasha Ammons, what's up? Jessica, always here, solid. Grew up with the Eagles. Natasha, we can still be friends. It's all right. And Jessica, you know what I'm going through. The hate is real. And what's up, Scott Watson? I'll be the freight sensei in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Haven't seen you in a while. But it's good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. It's good to be on the show. Good to get a little bit of movement in before these. I got 2 flights today, so I'm going to be, this will be nice. This will pay off later on. That's for sure.
Dude, absolutely. Good to have you here. Another, something incredible I kind of wanted to mention. I'm sorry for yapping so much, but,
man, go for it.
Oh, yeah, that never happens.
Yeah, you give me the mic. I won't give it up. But the wedding I went to on Friday in Bar Harbor, it's pretty great. It was my wife's first cousin. And well, actually, before I get into that, Nick, you mentioned that busy weekend with your dad. My wife felt the same way. It was like the most active weekend like she's kind of had in a while, where we're up, dancing, walking around, did this like hike thing. It's been the most active she is, and she like feels really good about it. Like is grateful for how was grateful for the opportunity to be that tired from the weekend, which is really powerful to hear. But the wedding we went to on Friday was, this woman, her first cousin got married, 55, 56 years old, never been married before, like that, never married, no kids. But ever since she was 8 years old, her dream was to have this wedding in Bar Harbor. And she's been living in Florida for decades now, but it was her dream since 8 years old. And never once throughout her life, because again, she was never married. It's not like she had issues. That's kind of how life worked out for her. But she had this wedding in Bar Harbor with definitely the gentleman, her husband, is without a doubt. I mean, he is enthralled with her. So it's really awesome. But she never once gave up or was like, oh, I guess it's not for me. I guess I'm just supposed to be an old maid. Like never once, like still had this dream of having this wedding in Bar Harbor. And she eventually got it. And she, it didn't happen in her 20s or 30s or even her 40s. But I mean, she kept herself out there. She kept her mind open, and she did end up meeting the person of her dreams to have her dream wedding with. And we live in a tough era. I know a lot of people watch the show are married, have families, but like I live in an area where people have, and people in their 30s, there's a lot of people who are still single in their 30s, and it's a mindset thing again, where they believe that they've been defeated because it didn't happen to them yet. But it's like, if that's the energy you're going to put out into the world of, I guess it's not for me, I guess it won't work out, I guess nobody will ever love me. It's like, well, wait a minute, take a look at how you're talking about yourself. how's anybody going to be the one for you if you're not even the one for you? It's like you gotta shift that mindset.
Dude, that's a principle for so many things in life. Like it all starts with belief, man. Like if you think you're going to be successful in business, man, you got to believe it first. If you don't believe it, nobody else is going to believe it. If you're going to try to sell a product and you don't believe it, man, you're not going to be successful in that, man. Like it all comes back to belief, man. Michael, I love the point that you brought that up because that's just a mindset shift thing. Nobody tells us what we have to believe. We get to choose what we believe. I mean, so often we believe the worst things about ourselves, and we set ourselves up to fail. You know, man, it's such a good point. The conversations we have with ourselves are the most important conversations we ever have. You know?
And if you talk low about yourself, you end up lowering your standard. And then you accept people into your circle, into your life, and into relationships who don't actually look at you the way that they probably should or treat you the way that they should. Or, you know, we settle for less because we don't believe we're deserving or capable of more.
Yeah. Can I tell you guys a quick little experiment that I've been doing with myself lately? This is so dumb, but it's so powerful at the same time. So, you know, I play a lot of golf. I played collegiately. At one point, I was pretty good in my life, but I've really struggled lately hitting my driver. Really struggled with that. And I started just like talking about myself as a terrible driver of the golf ball. This is my worst club in the bag. All those kind of things. So what do you think happened to my driving? It just perpetually got worse and worse. So this year, I made this weird decision, this conscious decision that I was going to start talking about myself as a great driver of the golf ball. So I'm literally like telling people my best club is my driver, and I'm a great driver of the golf ball, and you know, I just hit it solid, and it's crazy. Like my driving has actually gotten better of the golf ball because I literally have started telling myself a different message, and that message is I'm a great driver of the golf ball. Now, it may not necessarily be true all the time, but man, just talking to myself and believing that about myself, like actually like telling myself that, telling other people that, it's amazing how it has changed my ability to hit a golf ball. Like it's crazy, but it's a little experiment I've been doing this year. So if you see me on the golf course and you hear me say I'm a great driver of the golf ball, you can know it's a little bit of a trick, but it's also, you know, a mind game I'm playing with myself, and it's working. Like it's really, really crazy. It's absolutely wild.
I'm a big believer in visualization and self-talk, and I don't do it enough either for my own performance, but the times that I have, and I mean really leaned into it, it blows my mind how effective it is. And then I get frustrated that I don't do it more often.
Yeah. It's you know, visualization, self-talk. What are we saying about ourselves to other people? What are we saying about ourselves to ourselves? I mean, it used to be that I hit a bad drive and it was almost like I'd reinforced I'm a terrible driver of the golf ball. But now I hit a bad drive and I literally say, man, I'm a great driver of the golf ball. I'm going to crush this next one. Like it's stupid, but it works actually. And man, if you don't believe in yourself, believe some things about yourself, nobody else is going to believe it. That's for sure. That is for sure.
Trey Gilmore, ladies and gentlemen. Trey Gilmore on the PGA Tour.
Yeah. Well, we're not going that far, Pedro. Not quite that far, but there's something true about that. You know, what's crazy is that when you talk to professional athletes, they do have what we would maybe sometimes call a level of arrogance, but it really is just a level of confidence and belief about who they are that helps them perform at a high level. You know, and so there's a lot of power in that. Getting ready to leave. My flight's about to take off here, so I'm going to pack up while we're finishing up here. We got just a few more minutes. Boys, what do you want to tell the people as we sign off today? What do people need to know today?
I want to feed off of what you just said, because, you know, we were talking about pro sports a lot. We're talking about athletes, and we're talking about self-belief here. And you said how they might appear as arrogant. Pro athletes, when you ask them what their intention is, it's to win the championship. When you tell them what they're about, to win the championship. They're very confident. They're very clear. Nobody ever says, I don't know, man, I'm not feeling that great. We're going to see how it goes.
Yeah.
It's about the mindset that you choose and the mindset that you project. And, you know, they say that winners work hard in the dark, but they celebrate in the light. And it's okay to say, I am going to be awesome at this today.
Yeah. I mean, we get to choose that. We get to choose what we say about ourselves. We get to choose the stories that we say. We get to choose our identity. Like, why not set yourself up to succeed?
I'm going to be awesome in the pool today. Michael Phelps,
you're gonna crush it. You're gonna crush it today. You know, that's just so powerful to do that. But you can do that with work. You can do that with being a parent. You can do that with being a spouse. You can do that with being a friend. You can do that with anything that you're doing, you know, physically. just change the way that you're thinking about yourself, and it'll change a lot of things that are going on. So, all right, let's wrap it up here. Great to see everybody in the comments. Listen, folks, go out there, find your tribe, find your group. As we say, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Go do this today. Get with your community. Be the absolute best that you can be. Love you guys, man. Great to see y'all. We'll see you guys next week right here on Iron Mind.
Safe travels, Trey. Later, guys.
Appreciate you guys.